So we are all very. I make no qualms about my propensity for leftist punditry here, and while I certainly have my own criticisms of my fellow people on the left, and a lot of criticisms for their, you know, desire to eat each other alive, I find it very important to keep an eye on the right wing. And one of the things that the right wing is doing right now is that they are gearing up to make a new culture war issue. And that is centered around gas stoves. Evan, you might be wondering, why are they making a culture movement around gas stoves? Well, over the last 20 years, concrete research has come out proving that, having gas stoves are more likely to lead to fires, are more likely to lead to gas poisoning and gas leaks, you are more likely to, just having a gas stove puts you at greater risk. It also, because of the perpetual leakage of it, that because of how old systems like the one I have work, there's adverse health risks, lung issues, mental issues, because of constantly inhaling tiny amounts of gas, as well as a shortening of your lifespan. I've probably lost anywhere between 10 to 15 years off of my life simply because I've lived in places that have ancient gas stoves in the kitchen. And so the Biden administration, seeing all of this research, common sensely, thinks about, let's regulate gas stoves. If not out of existence, then certainly to make sure that they are all meeting a standard where they're not where they're not poisoning the population. And then you had right-wing ghouls like Matt Walsh saying, you have to pry my gas stove for my cold dead hands, which is cute and insinuates that Matt Walsh uses a gas stove day to day, because I actually cook. I'm going to bet all of these traditional conservative men that are pundits that are also married, like Matt Walsh is and that Ben Shapiro is, and I think Stephen Crowder's got a girlfriend. It's funny to believe that any of these men actually do any cooking for themselves and therefore have an opinion on a gas stove. I like my gas stove. I like it enough that I am willing to take the adverse health effects that come with it to use it. But to be clear, as said by Mr. Richard Trumica of the U.S. Consumer Safety Commission, or CPSC, the CPSC isn't coming for anyone's gas stoves, he tweeted. And he had to tweet that shit because, again, goons like, Ted Cruz made a comment on it like he's ever touched a fucking gas stove in his entire life. Matt Walsh said it like he's ever touched a gas stove in his entire life. It's becoming the conservatives are trying to make it a culture war issue. And it's sad, pathetic, and annoying. And what do you expect? People are actually dying because of their groomer, gaslighting on the discourse with gay people and trans people and stuff. So some of the more moderate conservatives, which are still out of their fucking mind, probably realize that optically it's probably better to find a different culture war issue that doesn't have to do with political identity and stuff like that. Because again, conservatism is doing kind of a death rattle right now in America. They're not popular. They haven't been popular since Newt Gingrich won the House in the 80s, 90s, something like that. So this is just, trying to find some way to have culture war wedge issues without actually having to change any of their dog shit economic policies. So that is that.